You know what always bugged me? The fact that there's only, what, 2 Orange Rangers, and one of them isn't even a real Ranger. Huh. That needs to be fixed.
Well, lucky for you, I've been kind of working on some Orange Rangers.
So the librarian has decided to show himself finally on this channel.
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm the librarian. You can find me on the Ozzimon Librarian channel, and I'm a big fan and a friend to Cosplay Dude 637.
So, you got some Orange Rangers for me to check out, huh?
Yep, I've been designing Orange Rangers, and recently I went through all of the Zordon era, the main 4 teams, and I thought maybe I could show you some, you're right, we are missing some Orange Rangers. Cosmic Fury is the only canon one, so I wanted to kind of give myself a challenge, and I thought why not share it with the 3 Ranger Bros, since that's your whole deal.
Sounds like a plan to me. And I get rid of Tai for a day, so it works.
Yes.
What is up, my peeps? I am your boy Cosplay Dude 637, and you are on the 3 Ranger Bros Studios YouTube channel. And today we have a special episode for you because a friend of ours, known as the Librarian, who does artwork, some original artwork and some redesigns, has sent us a Ranger challenge, so to speak. He's been working on some new Rangers, and we're going to check them out together. So let's get into it.
Hey folks, that's right, my name is the Librarian, and like he said at the beginning, I'm on the Ozzimon library, where I design all different types of things, Digimon, Pokemon, Power Rangers, weapons. I'm a big fan of Keyblades, and we all know Cosplay Dude is as well, and I also have my original series called the Ozzimon. And yes, I've designed some Orange Rangers, 4 of them to be exact, and each one of them is based in the Zordon era. So, let's get straight into it, with the very first team being, of course, Mighty Morphin.
The best team there is. Just saying.
So, as you can see, we have our orange Mighty Morphin Rangers. The whole idea was not to go with dinosaurs, because obviously Mighty Morphins start off with dinosaurs, but Mighty Morphins also known for 2 power sets, because they also become ninjas. Still don't understand how that correlates from dinosaurs to ninjas, but we'll excuse that for this video. And so I created our very first Mighty Morphin original Ninjetti Ranger, hence why the helmet, it doesn't look like a dinosaur. It's actually a lion.
Okay. I see you. Not bad. I like the... It's giving me Red Ranger vibes, but not Red Ranger vibes, if that makes sense. Like, it's giving me I'm a powerhouse, I'm gonna kick some ass, but at the same time, I'm not in charge.
That's kind of what I was going for with this. So, meet Ryan. Basically, the kind of behind the story with Ryan is he actually befriends Zach and Jason at their dojo, or one of their martial art training kind of, lessons of some kind, and he accidentally finds out they're Power Rangers, but he keeps it on the hush-hush, because obviously he's not, he wants to respect them and everything. But one day, obviously, villains happen, and the Rangers kind of get cornered, and so he seeks out Ninja. But obviously there's a problem, because when Ninja kind of gave the Ninjetti powers to the Rangers, they already had power sets. Red, blue, black, etc., etc. So Ninja creates our first Orange Ranger. And I know in the comics, there's already technically an Orange Ranger for Mighty Morphin. Bulk and Skull become the PowerPoint Orange Rangers. But let's just pretend that doesn't exist. And yeah, so he gets the lion, because obviously they are now animals, they're not dinosaurs. Hence how his headpiece kind of looks not exactly pointy, the more like ridges going across his helmet. And yeah, so we have our orange Lion Ninjetti Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. And yeah, he's basically the powerhouse. He's very strong. He doesn't know how to fight as well as everyone else, but like I said, he is kind of learning from Zach and Jason. So maybe over time he would get better at fighting. And yeah, so he relies more on his strength than his fighting skills.
So he's a little bit like Billy was when Billy first joined.
Yes.
Very nice. And after MMPR, we went into Zeo.
Yeah, so with Zeo, I took a completely different turn. And I present to you...
Because Zeo was all about shapes.
I give you our Zeo Orange Ranger.
Okay, at first glance, he's giving me axe vibes. Like, the bottom half of him looks like it's like the top of an axe, where you're just going to start chopping things up. But I definitely cool. My only question is, how is he seeing out of that shape?
Okay, so first off, meet the daughter of Triforia. This is Tiana of Triforia.
Tiana? Really?
Yes.
That's the best you could come up with, librarian.
Yes.
Wow.
Hey, don't shoot the story, okay? Just like the artwork. So when it comes to Tiana of Triforia, she's actually not a good Power Ranger at all. She's actually a villain. So basically what happens is, on Triforia, something massive and daunting and detrimental happens, and Trey is all by himself. He's now, of course, a lone Gold Ranger, and he does get defeated. And thankfully, the bad guy also gets defeated at the same time, but Trey does end up losing his life in the process, and Tiana actually kind of wants to get revenge on the Zeo Rangers, because, of course, when the Zeo Rangers needed Trey of Triforia, he was there. But when Trey was all alone and fighting for his life, the Zeo Rangers were never to be seen. So she picks up the Golden Power Staff and vows her revenge, which alternates the staff itself, gifting her the orange power set. And the armor pieces you're actually looking at is actually made out of pure stone. It's meant to represent the burden and the weight of revenge and hatred. And she's out to take down the Zeo Rangers. Her visor's actually meant to represent shattered glass, or like, you know, a shattering heart of some kind. Hence why it's called in pieces. Is to represent shattering. And I'm not going to question how she looks out of it. Let's be honest, because we also have Zeo Ranger 2, and her, you know, their visors separate into two bars. Explain how you look out of that. Just saying.
Fair. Okay, fair. You got me there. I definitely like her style, and now that you say that it's stone, I'm noticing the detail in it, and that the fact that it's weighted is pretty damn cool. That is a nice little attribute you added on there.
Yeah, so as you can see, like in the shoulder pad, it's slightly like cracked, and there is like detailing in the stone as well. And so she'd be a heavy hitter again, but there would be more rage and more hatred beyond her attack. So it wouldn't just be a strength that hits you; it's like pure, just negative emotion. So she's actually an evil ranger. I wanted to.
So, question for you, librarian, just out of curiosity, because we're talking about it. Could she be like Cam, the Green Samurai Ranger? Because once he took his stuff off, he was faster.
I mean, I'd never thought of it that way, but I'm sure I could always implement that somewhere in her like storyline where you know, maybe she's able to shed off the stone and become faster or something. That's actually a pretty good idea. But I
have them from time to time.
Yes, I've heard. So when it comes to these rangers, I didn't want just to make a ranger. You know, I wanted to make storylines and differences between all of them. Hence why we have an additional ranger for MMPR, but an evil ranger for Zeo. So I wanted to kind of mix up the formula with each ranger.
Did you come up with the Zord for her and I didn't hear it?
No, I didn't. I haven't come up with Zords for all of them. So the ones that are important, so like for example, Mighty Morphin is kind of important because obviously Power Coin, you know, they yell out their Zord names. So for some of them I have come up with Zords if it's needed, but not all of them. So no, she doesn't actually have a Zord because obviously Jason as the Zeo Gold Ranger has Pyramidas, so I didn't know exactly where to go with a pyramid.
What about an Aztec pyramid? because it's made out of stone.
I mean, that works. That actually works. Fair enough. So before I show you Turbo, I would like to remind everybody watching this that the Super Sentai that Turbo is based off is a mock season. It's a joke. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It's a complete and utter joke. You know, it's a funny season. There's a few funny seasons in Super Sentai, but of course, Power Rangers never did anything funny. They do take their storylines a bit more seriously and stuff. I went down the Super Sentai mocking route. This is a complete utter joke, but it is, you know, canon to my orange multiverse that I'm creating. So I give you the orange Turbo Ranger. Again, it is a mock.
Gosh. Okay, librarian. That made me laugh. That the taxi on the chest. This is great. This is I can't wait to see this Zord. I want to see a Zord now. Cause it's a taxi. That's great.
So tell the absolute truth, Turbo is actually the one that I struggled the most with when it comes to Zords because the Turbos are all cars. And then I remembered about the Super Sentai. It's a big joke of a Sentai. So I was like, okay, what vehicle can I use that would be fun and like just stupid and entertaining? So I went with a taxi. Obviously taxis are yellow for Americans, and then in the UK they're like a black, or normally they're just normal cars realistically. But obviously you can bend the rules a little bit. You know, let's be honest, not all lions are red. So I'm sure we can have an orange taxi. So yes, meet Sir William III. He's a taxi driver, and he never thought of being a ranger. He's happily being a taxi driver, except one day one of his passengers, one of the people he has to escort from point A to point B, actually holds a very important briefcase, that being the turbo morpher for the Orange Ranger, and whilst driving, he gets attacked, the taxi gets flipped, and whoever attacks the taxi, the person ends up obviously getting badly hurt, and he kind of gives the briefcase to Sir William III and says, hey, take this and look after it. He opens it out of curiosity and finds the taxi morpher, which of course looks like the turbo morphers anyway, and he does morph into the taxi ranger. The taxi word on his chest he actually drew on himself is just a blank piece of black, but he actually, like, you know, put on the word taxi on there himself. And yeah, so we have a bit of a joke. I put some more detailing in the chest piece because the Turbo Rangers do have some lines, but I added more because I wanted to. That's just it. And we also have the black and white under his visor and on his belt represent the black and white stripe that goes across yellow taxis. And yeah, I thought we'd come up with something a bit more fun and light-hearted after my dark and serious Zia Ranger.
Well done. You have succeeded, sir. So, what do you have? Okay, we've had regular old Ranger, we've had an evil Ranger, we've had a joke Ranger. Is this one going to make me cry?
Maybe, because it is quite sad.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
Okay, so this one is actually following a storyline from the comic books, not exactly the TV show, but I shall show off the Ranger first. I give you the orange Zia Ranger.
Yeah, don't you mean in space?
Yes, I meant in space. Apologies.
Okay. The cloak is throwing me off, but, I mean, it looks like a decent in-space suit, so... But I have a feeling the story has the explanation of the cloak.
So, in the comic books, if you read the Countdown to Ruin comic book, which explains Andros and Zane's backstory, we are met with Mavi and Daza, which are the original In Space Blue and In Space Pink Rangers. They are a lesbian couple, and they are the couple who raise and adopt a bunch of kids, including Andros and Zane, but it's never actually stated if they ever had a kid themselves. So I came up with my very own child for them both, being Morrow. Don't ask who gets inseminated or who has the kid. I don't know that. I never thought about that part. But the storyline is basically he does become the Orange Ranger. He doesn't have the cloak just yet, the little poncho thing I made. And he goes on a solo mission, even though he gets told not to. He goes on a solo mission. He goes to a distant planet that he's not familiar with, and his ship ends up being destroyed. He is able to save himself, but he has no way of communicating back home, and he has no way of getting back home. And so he ends up working with this civilization that lives on the planet, and he ends up protecting them from these they're natural beings, but they're evil and malicious animal-like creatures. And so this civilization kind of deem him a hero, kind of like thank him for protecting him, and he kind of like grows up there and lives there, and he ends up being a solo hero ranger on this one planet. And the poncho like cloak thing you're looking at, the little bit of orange you can see is actually the insignia for the city, and it's basically like a symbol of thanks, like a symbol of gratitude, and that's why he wears it, because obviously it's got the city that he protects on there as well. So that's why the cloak. So he's now alone in a distant planet he doesn't know, and he's still trying to be a hero nevertheless.
At least he's still trying to be a hero. I mean, I get what's with emotions in you, huh, librarian? Why are you giving me the emotions? I do not agree with this. I did not sign up for this.
I apologize.
I feel like that wasn't a true apology, but okay. Moving on.
But yeah, we have it. We have 4 Orange Rangers that I have designed for the Zordon era. I didn't do Alien only because Alien's a miniseries and nobody cares about Alien, so Alien didn't get one. I may do one if it gets requested, but I didn't do one. So yeah, the 4 main Zordon era of Rangers.
Well, the gang, there you have it. Our friend the librarian from the Ozzimon Library has created us 4 different and very interesting Orange Rangers to add to the Power Rangers universe. I'm sure, knowing my Parabatai Tai Tiger, that they will pop up in some way or some shape if I know him. But until next time, thank you for tuning in to the Three Ranger Bros Studios. And librarian, will you see us out?
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much for having me. Of course, if you've been watching the Kingdom Hearts videos, I have been requested to do some other things, which I'm actually in the middle of working on. So you will see my face once again, and maybe I can return once I've done the next era of Power Rangers in Orange format. I do plan on doing all seasons throughout Power Rangers, so maybe I can come back with them. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you want to check out the Ozzimon Library, it'll be linked down below. Well, I hope so. I'll have to talk to Ty about that. I hope it gets linked, because I'm doing this for free.
Boy, yeah, you better really get on to him about that then, huh?
Can someone message him? Can we send him a notification, or can someone just whack him in the face with a big sign that says link in description? No? Okay. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channels, and we shall see you guys next time. Hey there guys, Tai Tiger here. Just thought I'd add a little note on to the end of that video. A big massive thank you to the Ozzimon Library and of course the librarian. The librarian is a good buddy of mine. Check out the Ozzimon Library down in the link down below for more artwork related videos. He draws all different types of Power Rangers, but he also does other things as well. He's very fond of drawing weapons such as Keyblades. He loves drawing different types of Pokemon and Digimon, and he has his own summoner monster tamer like series called the Ozzimon, which he's starting to kind of slowly get into the habit of releasing the monsters in that. So definitely make sure you tune in for the Ozzimon Library down below. And of course, thank you, Willie, Cosplay Dude 67, for taking the time to hang out with the librarian as well. If you haven't already, check out the rest of our videos. We have the Three Ranger Bros Studios, myself, Cosplay Dude 67, and the Red Cornish Ranger. On top of that, we have the council members. Throughout July, we actually got to see 4 videos with 4 different council members, and the new council members will be kind of dotted around here and there throughout the rest of the year. So with that being said, of course, do hit the like button if you haven't already, if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss another Tuesday upload, and of course all the shorts that join that. And sometimes we add in we kind of throw in an extra video on Fridays sometimes. And that being said, we love you all, roar of passion, and we shall see you guys next time.